Right, wake up to Rodney. I didn't do an episode yesterday because I was really busy in the office. But I'm on my way to finish a loft, so I've got some time. So, wake up to Rodney. Two things to understand. There's a lot of videos at the moment about scams, body dysmorphia. There was that madness in South London with events being cancelled. Now, a lot of things are all linked. Let's leave the scams for now, and let's focus on things that we can control, or at least make an impact on. Now, I'm an author. I write books. I've written a few books so far, and I'm writing one right now. Now, whenever I come up against any kind of negative behaviour, the first question I ask is, do you read? How much do you read? What do you read? And we seem to have lost this love affair with books. We seem to have lost, and it seems to be in a lot of working class scenarios where books aren't made readily available for adults and children. But it seems, and I'm only going off what I see off social media, I'm not going off any stats, I'm only going off what I see day to day, is that a lot of the people who are trying to be diagnosed with ADHD, who are trying to be given that title of ADHD, whose behaviours they're trying to recognise as adult ADHD or child ADHD. Whenever I come into direct conversation with those people, I always ask the same question: do you read, or does your child read? And the answer almost always is no. However, is there an addiction in the same? So my next question is, are you on social media? Are you on TikTok? Are you on Instagram? Are you on Snapchat? Does your child have an Xbox? Does your child have a PlayStation? Does your child have a Switch? How often is your child playing the Switch? Oh, I can't get him off it. So my point is I'm deducing that there is a link between not reading, not furthering your vocabulary, not stretching your mind, not being interested in a subject enough to go research, find a book, get the book, read the book again so you understand. So this level of learning is disappearing from child and adult, and you'll see where I'm going from this in a minute. This level's disappearing, but we're trying to find the diagnosis for why the attention span of adult and child is very small. And books, pages, take a percentage of time to read, whereas if you're looking at a TikTok video, it's 30 seconds, not even that. So, so we've got to look at the stats. Somebody's got to put together the stats. Somebody's got to do a study. And somebody did say that one of the reasons why your Xbox or your phone, when you play games, because remember when Candy Crush was a big thing? Before Candy Crush it was Tetris. Yeah. When you play games, the consequence of your action is immediate. So you're fighting someone in a first-person shooter or whatever it is, yeah, and you die within a minute, 2 minutes. How long's Fortnite? A minute, 3 minutes, 10 minutes? How long is it? Yeah, the consequences of your action is immediate. When you read a book, when you buy and read a magazine, when you admire or watch or go to an art gallery or look at a piece of art, yeah, the consequence of your action isn't immediate. It's much longer. So we're creating in that, we're creating a disproportionate response. So one is an immediate response of consequences. Oh, I didn't lift my gun quick enough. Oh, I didn't jump further enough. Oh, I didn't have my special hand grips on, whatever the biomechanics of the game is. I didn't have that specific thing. Therefore, I respawn, I do it again. When you read a book, you've got to get to the end of the book. You've got to then understand how that book makes you feel, whether it's fiction, whether it's non-fiction. You've got to understand how the parameters of that book fit into your life. Is it inspirational? Does it make you do anything? Yeah. There's a lot of work and effort you've got to do to get a benefit from that book. Same with cookbooks. You know, it's funny, you know, cookbooks give an ingredient list. Oh shit. Cookbooks give an ingredient list. Imagine if you bought a cookbook and it came with a link to what this is how my business mind works. It came with a link to Waitrose, where with a click of a button, yeah, all those ingredients were delivered. Not for the whole book, obviously, but for the whatever recipe it is. That'd be amazing. Yeah, that'd really be amazing. That'd revolutionise the sales of cookbooks, that for sure. But my point is the answer isn't immediate with a book. The answer with a game is immediate. Now, the growth in numbers of ADHD, for me, is linked heavily with the attention span of the individual, child or adult. Now, adult ADHD to me only exists if you had ADHD as a child. You don't develop it. True ADHD, true attention deficit disorder, yeah. Whereas the one that a lot of people are trying to subscribe themselves to, to get the benefits of the support. So it's linked more to a mental health issue than it is to just a diagnosis issue. Now, this now links to why people do crazy things. So at the weekend, loads of people rushed a load of events, which resulted in 3 events being cancelled. Now, in those 3 events being cancelled, due to bad behaviour of the participants. Now, that's not fair on the people who did behave themselves. Obviously, it's not. But a large percentage of people didn't behave themselves. Now, I would be interested to know if you could ever interview the people who did rush the barriers, who did jump over fences, who did push their way in. Just those people, not the people who paid, not the people who travelled from all over the country, yeah, to go and enjoy some music and date or whatever it is, yeah. I would be interested to know, out of all of those people who pushed in, who climbed over barriers, how many of them buy books, read books, buy magazines, read magazines, go to libraries. I'd be interested to know the percentage. How many of those people have some kind of disorder, ADHD, mental health, whichever, whatever. That's why I'm saying this ADHD is an epidemic due to leadership. Because we live in a consumerist society. Yeah, Xbox, PlayStation. Yeah, my Xbox is in the loft. My Wii's in the loft. My PlayStation's in the loft. I haven't touched them in ages. I'm too busy reading and writing. Yeah, and it furthers your cognitive skills. So therefore, you make more calculated decisions. The more you read, the more developed your cognitive skills are, the more developed your ability to make better decisions are. So therefore, when it comes to making decisions that are potentially negative towards your future, you're more likely to not make that decision because you've developed a level of skill that you want to protect. So isn't it interesting that people who are well educated, and there's always going to be one person, well, I've got a master's degree in child psychology or something like that, I've got a master's degree in flower arranging, and I've got ADHD. There's always one person who says it. But I'm pretty much willing to guarantee that most people with high levels of reading skill or a deeper understanding of the world that we live in today, yeah, don't suffer with ADHD. Don't. They may have something else. So for me, I know for a fact I have obsessive compulsive, whatever it is, obsessive compulsive, whatever the thing is. I know for a fact I've got that. Or I consider myself the Quincy Jones of photography. So you've got Quincy Jones. Now, in my mind, I don't take enough photographs. But in my mind, I know the image that I get or can get could go up against almost everybody, anybody. Unfortunately, photography, in an age where there's more photographs being taken than ever before, which is why photography is a dying industry, because normal people, as in not hugely skilled people like myself, yeah, can take a photograph with their camera, with their phone, with their camera phone, not with a £20,000 Hasselblad, for example, that I've got. So you've got this ballpark between what is a good photograph. So if I was to do a wedding, for example, and I wanted to do it in my style, I'd charge £10,000 to do a wedding. Now that is a ludicrous amount of money, but for a wedding photographer. But I just believe that my wedding photographs, if I'm going to do a wedding, I'm going to charge anywhere between 5 and 10 grand to do it. Because, but nowadays, everybody's filming. I wouldn't do a wedding video. I've done wedding videos, but I wouldn't do a wedding video. Because I believe the power of the wedding is in the photograph. The power of the moment, the power of the capture is in the image. It's not in this endless rolling video, which is why I never wanted to be a wildlife videographer. I wanted to be a wildlife photographer, because I think if you can capture something in an image that's as powerful as a video, you can say more with what you're doing than what a videographer can do. Although I do respect videographers 100%, because I know how still you've got to sit in order to capture the image. Ah, this cup of tea is lovely. I'm having this loose leaf tea at the moment till I've finished it. I'll finish it this week. So to bring everything together, beware of trying to give yourself, diagnose yourself with whatever the illness is. Beware of it. And in fact, try and cure yourself of it. Yeah. I always remember there was this woman, I went to this group and she says, straight away, she's diabetic, ADHD, autistic, she's all of this. And then I purposely didn't want to speak to her, because she had, all she ever spoke about was how ill she is and how she can't do this and can't do that and has to stop doing this. So I just tried to remove myself from being anywhere near her. So she always gravitated towards me. And it's like, oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't want to hear how ill you are. Yeah. Tell me how you're getting over it, how you build a defense on it, how you improve, how you are better. What have you done to go above and beyond? That's what I want to hear. Strength. But that's how my mind's wired. So I don't feel sorry for her, and I don't feel that I need to change her in any way. However she is, she is. I just choose not to be around her. Does this make sense? So you've got to think to yourself. Now, I'm not talking about mental health, because that's completely different. And I am fully behind someone or somebody who is suffering with mental health. Fully behind it, because I understand what mental health is, and I understand the impact of mental health. And maybe those adults who are trying to diagnose themselves with ADHD, actually the root cause is they have mental health issues and they're crying out for help, and that's just another way that they need help. But then, which brings me to my final thing, which is the body dysmorphia thing. How do you ask for help? How do you show vulnerability? How do you say, can I have help? Without being a whinger and a moaner and a whiner. How does that come about? How do you position yourself where you're not a whinger? How do you come about that? And how do you just say, I've got mental health issues. I don't want to go on tablets. I want to build myself up. How do I go about it? And you know what my answer would be? You know what my answer is going to be? It's not nothing like toughen up. It's not nothing like pull yourself together. It's not nothing as brass and ignorant as that. But it is as simple as that. And do you know what my answer is? Start reading. Invest in books. Invest in yourself. Invest in reading. Invest in... What's this woman doing? People can't bloody drive. Invest in... Oh shit. It's me who can't drive. Invest in building yourself up. Invest in the cure, the remedy. Like the prodigy said, I got the poison, I got the remedy. Yeah. Go to the light. There's books everywhere. Go to Oxfam Bookshop. Go to Amazon. Start buying books. Read books. Further your cognitive skill. Make better decisions. Buy books that give you invest in courses and skills. And I guarantee you, yeah, your level of mental health will improve. And not the constant scrolling. Listen, like and subscribe, guys. In a bit. Bye.